Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Shore podcast. That's SURE because we are always sure. I have two great guests tonight, and I'll unveil them in my monologue that I give. And this is brought to you by the Great America's Pulse Network. And just so everyone knows, like and subscribe. And if you want to hit something in the chat box, it doesn't matter what social media platform you're on, you can punch something in. We'll see it on the screen, and we'll be able to respond to you. So the breaking news today is New Jersey's top teacher union, a massive donor to Mikey Sherrill, who's running for governor in New Jersey, who I'm not voting for, by the way, is set to host Woke Drag event for teachers. So that's the plan. So you see that right up there? That's what it is. So, and you'll see another picture with the teachers union on there as well. So the NJEA. So that's who is running for governor. That's who's going to teach our kids. But I got something better for you guys. I am voting for Jack Chiarelli, but I got something better for you guys tonight. So this is where we spotlight the real story of who's shaping our kids' future and who's playing politics. Tonight we've got two women running for assembly up in LD5 who are in this for us: Canstance, Detzel, and Nila Gonzalez, mothers, community servants, conservatives who believe in faith, family, and freedom, which is, by the way, our motto on the APN, and handing down a better New Jersey for their children. On the flip side, look what's making the headlines up north. Mikey Sherrill, congresswoman, turned governor wannabe, pushing radical agendas in schools, cozying up the unions, and apparently hiding more than she's showing. I mean, let's get it real. Full disclosure. Like I said, I'm not voting for Mikey, I'm voting for Jack. Why? Because while she might wear the uniform of a Navy pilot and a former prosecutor, the record has holes. For example, she was barred from walking at her graduation from Naval Academy around a cheating scandal. Yeah, cheating scandal. So, and campaign finance issues. There are questions. Then, what she wants for our kids. According to the headline, the state's top teachers union, the massive donor to her campaign, is set to host a drag event for teachers shortly after the election. I mean, think about it. While Constance and Nila are talking about mommy duty, community standards are parental rights, Cheryl's camp is shifting culture in the classroom, elementary schools, before children even have a chance to find their own way. I say let kids be kids. Wait until they become adults to decide who they are, what they believe, who they love, without kindergarten lessons being rewritten. Meanwhile, Constance brings decades of service in publishing, education, and community work in Camden County, raising her children right here in our backyard. Nielsen's a lifelong Camden resident, a paralegal, school board member, minister, someone who gets what families in South Jersey deal with. They're not career politicians. They fight. They're the fight for you politicians. So, well, candidates, I would say. We want them to be politicians. So tonight, I'll ask them some tough questions. How will you protect parental rights? What concrete policies will you fight? Lower taxes, restore common sense, education, and revive our economy, because we don't need more headlines about cheating scandals, union insiders, or elites shifting culture. While families get squeezed, we need results. Canstance, Detzel, Nila Gonzalez, this is our chance to show why the MamaBears are the real decision makers. So let's dive in. Let's go to our first segment. So our first segment is what woke the MamaBears. So that's I figured it out.
Good title.
Yeah. So all right. So you both could have stayed home, focused on work and family, but instead you chose to jump into politics. So what moment or issue lit that fire? I'll go to you, Nila, first.
I mean, do you see what's happening in our school system right now? I always tell people I'm not just a candidate. I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother. And my kids' education is so important. I want my son to have a future. I want him to grow up and to be able to become an engineer or whatever it is that he wants to do. But right now in our school system, we're spending way too much time doing other things instead of teaching our children how to read, write, and do simple math.
Yeah.
And so And the fact that they're taking away our parental rights, it's almost like we have no right in what our children are being taught. And so, yeah, I am. It woke up the mama bear in me.
Right.
Yeah, and I have a big mouth. I'm like, what do you, I'm like,
I wouldn't have guessed.
You mean to tell me that we don't have a say right now? You mean to tell me that if my son, wants to, he leaves out my house as a boy, he can assume an identity in the school system and I not be told and be held a secret, and so that's scary.
It is. It's very scary. That's one of the reasons why I ran before. It was a big issue for me. And Constance, how about you? What woke you up? We'll put the fire under you.
Your phrase was why we got into politics. Politics came into the classroom. We didn't jump into politics. Politics came to the school, so we had to deal with it. That wasn't our charter, what we wanted to do. And in fact, our slogan has been legislation for the next generation. And part of that means no legislation. For example, they're over-legislating good parents.
Yeah.
You do that, they're going to come out of the woodwork. They are going to come out of the woodwork. They're the first teacher at the cradle. They're not going to give up being teachers. So when they came into the classroom, when they came in and brought politics in, the parents came out. Some of us came out a little further. Some of us went up to Trenton to complain. And after I did that a few times, I testified on behalf of K through 12 parents and children. I saw this was a much bigger muddle than I realized. And it wasn't stopping. It wasn't going away. They were legislating parents on unnecessary things, costing hours and hours of time and money in Trenton and of taxpayer dollars, your dollars, folks. Mm-hmm. And so I just couldn't not.
Yep, no, I hear you.
I couldn't.
I love the fact that you guys are stepping up. That you guys never held any office, right? Well, you were in school board. You were in school board, right?
I was in school board for a charter school.
I mean, I'm on the municipal committee for Republican committee in Collingswood.
Okay.
But, I've not been in a big legislative realm at all.
Yeah, but never ran for an office like this, right? Like that. But you guys are just stepping up because we're
stepping up. And we had,
because you care.
Good view in Trenton for 2 years doing that and learning a lot in 2 years. It was like baptism by fire.
So, all right. Well, I want to ask you guys come from kind of like two different worlds. Like Constance from the academic and publishing side, Nila from law, government, and ministry. What common thread brought you guys together under a Republican banner?
First of all, it's a simple answer. We were paired together. We didn't choose each other. I was like, how about this? And we're like, okay. She wanted to run and I wanted to run. So it's not like there was a selection process.
Okay.
However, it's been wonderful how the fact that we have such different backgrounds, it makes the balance rich.
Yes.
There's no question. The reason, and we educate each other all the time. I mean, we have different backgrounds, we're different ages, we have all kinds of different things, and yet there's a really strong commonality.
Yeah.
We never have trouble laughing.
That's great.
But beyond that, I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, and so it was definitely love at first sight.
Yeah, that's what we know.
I say that all the time. I trust her. I believe her, and I saw this passion that she had for the kids, for the children, for the next generation. And I had that same passion. And I think that is what's common about us.
Yeah.
We just fight our voices are different, And there's nothing quiet about Constance either. So, we do share that in common. So the commonality is the fact that we want children, the next generation, our future. We want our future to be able to thrive, and for them to be able to have a future as well. So,
yeah, well, I know everything changes when you have kids, and I have two young kids. I have a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old, and so I know, how does motherhood shape you different? Because me, as a father, I pretty much gave up everything. I'd buy one pair of sneakers a year, if that. Everything's about the kids. I'd sacrifice everything. But how has motherhood shaped your way of thinking about leadership?
I think parenting, and I won't just call it mothering. I think parenting, it forces you have to be the models that you want them to become, and you can't waver from that lifelong. So if you're saying don't do this, don't do that, you better darn well not be doing this or that. So I think parenting keeps a person on the straight and narrow, keeps them focused. And that is the best thing that children do for parents. So that kind of shapes everything I do all the time. I'm like, darn it, I told my dog, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really have to steer clear because of what you're instructing.
Yep.
Even when they're older, and my children are older. So it never stops really.
Yeah, I have an older daughter. She's an adult. She's 28, and I have a 13-year-old. And so I have to be the model for both of them. I have to be the voice for this adult child and for this teenager. And so I think how has motherhood shaped leadership? Now in the household, let's think about this for a minute. Who was the authority figure in the house? It was always mom.
It was mom,
right?
yeah.
Dad had that level of authority, right? You didn't play with dad either, but mom, it was like when mom said something, you did it.
Oh yeah.
So mom always played a major role of leadership. It was always like, mommy, don't play. Mom, what's mom going to say about this? And dads always have a tendency of saying, well, what does dad say about that, right?
Yeah, well, one thing with me growing up, no, I was a pain in the ass, so
I can't imagine.
So I got in trouble a lot. But my mom was always the disciplinary one. But if I made her mad enough, then she'd say, wait till your father gets home. I'm like, oh no. So that's when he stepped in, but she was always the one that was the disciplinarian, and she was the mama bear, and I love my mom dearly. She's 77 years old and still doing pretty good. Actually helping my sister fly to Florida every week for cancer treatment. So she's got a lot in her. There's something about moms.
Yeah.
Everyone looks at men being strong. Yes, we are. We're strong. We could be overbearing sometimes, but we're the hunters and gatherers, as you would say. But the women are really the ones. Behind every good man, there's a better woman, I would say.
I see
and that's what it is. I mean, you think about it, the women are the strongest ones. I mean, I could never have birth. Like, you think about it, I get the flu and I'm done on the couch. I'm crying. My wife's bringing me soup, and she's like, "What's wrong with you? It's a flu." I'm like, "I can't move." And she gets the flu. She throws up, goes back, and takes care of the kids.
You do what you have to do. That's it partly too.
I don't know how she does it, but so I want to ask you guys another question. There's a growing wave of mothers nationwide running for school boards, state offices. Why do you think moms have become the new face of the movement?
We partly just answered that question.
You did.
Yeah,
but
we partly did because they're good house managers.
Yeah.
A lot of them are more cost conscious. They have to run the family budget. They're buying the groceries. They're buying the clothes. So they're already managing things on a big picture.
Yes, but what do you think? Why is it taking off?
I think moms they want to say in their child's education. I think mothers are, there's a video out of Mikey saying, well, parents aren't going to be able to opt out of this curriculum.
She said that?
Well, she was like, parents should not want to even opt out of the curriculum, right? And so... Have you met the mothers of New Jersey? Have you met us? I mean, being as though she didn't grow up here, for her to make a comment saying that, we should not want to even opt out of it. No, we should have the right to be able to opt out of it if we want to.
There's an interesting reversal going on. It used to be join the PTA, get involved with the schools, get involved. And over time, it's backed away. It's like, we don't want to hear so much from you. And you definitely feel this at school board meetings. You don't even feel it. You're instructed it and you're told it. But it's kind of a reversal. And you can, I've read a lot of these school board policies. They're stepping aside. They're pushing parents aside. Yeah. And it'll be one thing here, one thing there. This is my big beef. They're chipping away. It's one bill or one statement that doesn't look like, oh, that's not so bad. Then there's another, that's not so bad. But you put them together in a package, and it's one big cabal.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean,
so that's why they're the face, though. I mean, you asked about how'd you put that, become the new face of the movement. First of all, I think they feel they have the most at stake because they care so darn much. But secondly, we didn't ask for the fight.
No.
No, that's
We didn't
right.
ask for it. You jumped into our lives. You jumped into our intimate space, really intimate space of children, frankly. And we're, we need boundaries.
And conversations that should start at the dinner table, at home, are being had in our school systems without our parents' knowledge. Like, the LGBTQ curriculum pushes parents away, instead of including them. They say that it's an LGBTQ inclusive curriculum, but really it's intrusive, because they're leaving out the parents.
Yeah, but why do you think they're pushing it so much? I mean, I understand that LGBTQ plus divided by sign minus whatever it might be. They're people that exist. They are people. They're people too. They're adults. But when they're adults, they can make their decision. I don't care what they do in their bedroom. I don't care how they live their life as an adult. But why do you think? And it's mainly Democrats that are pushing this agenda on kids. Like, why tell them that? But growing up, it's like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. My son, for instance, I always tell the story. It might be the third time I told him on this podcast. For a moment, he thought he was Spider-Man. We watched a Spider-Man movie, and he thought he was Spider-Man. So he's like out there slinging webs and stuff like that. But I had to tell him that he's not Spider-Man because if he climbed up on a rooftop and tried to sling a web to the neighbor's house, it wouldn't work out well for him. So why are they telling kids that? I understand the fact that you could be whatever you want when you grow up, but why are they pushing this agenda on them?
I have two answers. The first is, it's very important that we make clear to everyone who's listening, is there is a big difference between acceptance and indoctrination.
Yeah.
We accept, all of us accept the children who they are. There's one thing to accept a child for being inclined a certain way. There's another thing to promote it.
Right.
And the teachers are have to deal with this too. They're creating a situation. There's a difference from accepting it and promoting it, and it's gone to the area of promotion. You answered your own question as to how, Damon. You just read about this. This drag is not a crime at the teachers at the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Here's the panel. Here's on the agenda. Drag is not a crime. The past, present, and future of drag. It explores drag's history, cultural significance, and future, showing how it serves as art, resistance, and activism. My first question is, what does this have to do with K through 12 education?
Why? Yeah.
So, but we already answered the question because you say, where's this drive coming from? It's coming from the teachers union. This is on their agenda. You think next year there's going to be a course in drag in the school required? Maybe. You think that's why, I'm a little suspicious if that's what we'll see next. I'll tell you something else about the union. And this is only of September. There's a new standard that they have in school on United States, New Jersey labor history and the contributions of the labor movement. This is a self-serving course to teach them about labor unions supporting their own presence in the New Jersey school system. That's my suspicion, because I think it's basically an okay idea. Let's talk about labor unions. But do you think they're going to talk about how the price of too much of wages pushed out the auto industry in Detroit? Are they going to talk about shipbuilding, how it was once the major shipbuilder in the U.S. in 1945 and now isn't? Are they going to talk about the downside of labor unions? Or they can just talk about the upside. They can mention Thomas Sowell, Milton Friedman, the economic. My conjecture is that this is a self-serving thing for them too.
Yeah.
They're a labor union. They want to be in the present. So let's just start teaching school children how wonderful labor unions are. Again, one more thing in the curriculum to take away from the basic skills.
Well, I'm in the union. I'm in the Carpenters Union. So I believe in labor unions for that part of it, because we're self-sustaining. Mm-hmm. So we don't take any government money whatsoever. The contractor and the developer, they pay us, and we sustain our own pension, our own annuity, our own health care, all that. When it comes to government-run unions, like the NJEA, the Teachers Union, all that stuff, I don't believe should be a union. I don't believe any union should take taxpayer dollars whatsoever, because I have issues with my union quite often. Mm-hmm.
They have a place, and they had a place, especially in Oregon, when they first came, in the U.S. back in the 30s, whenever it was. So they definitely have a place. But I agree with you; it's gone way over the top that the union is running the New Jersey Department of Education. There's no question.
And how does that benefit our children?
Right.
And how does that educate our children?
Right. What is
how?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, so I posed the question to the listeners, like, how does that help the next generation?
Yeah, because unions tend to get out of control. Like even my union, I mean, I work with the operating engineers union, I work with the plumbers union, iron workers union, I'm in the carpenters union, and everything always gets corrupted. Like power corrupts and absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So once these business agents get so high up and stuff like that, that's why I said I have issues with my union sometimes. But the rank and file men and women that are out there doing the hard work and cutting their hands open all the time like this, so that's why I do believe in the unions, because they do give you good wages and stuff like that. But taxpayer dollars.
So you would endorse? No. Would you endorse a course in the school and labor unions?
Yes, absolutely. I would.
Okay, so it can be presented. Here's my other beef with the curriculum: balanced curriculum. If you present one side, present the other.
Yeah.
That's what we don't see going on. So I endorse a course or a part of a course, but it's got to present both sides. And so many of the things they're teaching only present one side.
Yeah. Well, I look at it this way with AI and everything now. AI is taking a lot of jobs, but you're always going to need a carpenter, you're going to need a plumber, you're going to need an electrician, and that's why I think they should go back to. Remember, they used to have Votex. And stuff like that.
Votex.
Like something like that. Like it's like picking a language at school. Pick a trade that you might want to learn. Have a class in that. And to let them see, because kids nowadays, they don't know anything but games, video games, and they're on their phone all day. They can't fix a damn thing.
Well, you may know that one of the things Jack is pushing, Jack Chitterelli, it wants to push. We'll get back to basic skills in a minute, but he wants to push the VOTEC liaisons with community colleges and with high schools, so that, because not everyone wants to go to college, not everyone should go to college. They have different skills, and that they need to build that up. That liaison needs to be stronger, so that students, I'll call them at that age, are sliding into the trades with pride, and because they want to be there, and because they have to be there. All the kids, whether you go to college or the trades, needs their basic skills at hand. And that's not happening.
Yeah.
I told Damon just the other day that in the 90s, I published the basic skills books at the community colleges and at the Temple University, basic skills math, basic skills English. And there's just thousands and thousands of kids that aren't learning their basic skills. Yeah. And yet they're going to college. They didn't learn them in high school. Yeah. So this isn't a new problem. This goes back to the 90s. Or sooner. So somewhere along the line, that took a second seat, and there hasn't been enough of, a drive to fix it. I think the curriculum started getting overburdened with necessary things. They had to start teaching computers and computer applications. They didn't do that in the old days. So by the time you start adding all this other stuff on, basic stuff gets short shrift.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about kids don't even know how to cook food? They don't even know how to plant stuff.
Basic skills, right?
Yeah, basic skills. Yeah, I had a nephew who went to college, and he was like, I didn't even know how to make a pack of oodles and noodles. But I remember being in school, and I remember I learned how to make a peach cobbler in school because we had home ec.
Yeah, that's right.
We had home ec.
I love home ec,
and I know how to. I only know the basic on sewing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to sew an entire shirt, but I can sew a hole because I learned that in school.
Right. Guess who's making the witches' cakes? Making the witches' cakes. I mean, I learned to use a sewing machine, but a lot of that stuff was initiated in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but instead they want to teach your kids that boys can use girls' bathrooms and everything else, which is
insane to me. It's insane.
I'm glad I'm a West effort. There's none of that going on. I talk to my daughter and my son now too, and I have about a dozen words that I tell them. I'm like, if you ever hear this word, that word, you go home and you tell Dad right away, because I know that's what it is. So, but none of that's going on. Nobody's complaining about it. I haven't heard any other parents, so I'm lucky that that's not going on in our schools, because I would lose my mind if there was a boy in my daughter's bathroom.
I would lose my mind if my son wanted to go inside.
Maybe that's too.
Like people making these decisions. I'm thinking, do you have to be a parent to realize that that's uncomfortable for an 11-year-old girl?
Girl.
I mean, does anyone want to think back of how they felt when they were 9? Do you have to have children to remember that? I don't think so.
My daughter was upset. She just turned 12. She was upset in gym class and not have the locker room, getting changed in front of other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very self-conscious. We all were.
Yeah. Imagine a boy.
Yeah, same. And then they mix them up in the classes. Okay. I wonder if the people they're doing remember what it was like for them, for themselves.
And I think it's important to state that we want every child to feel safe and feel included.
Of course,
You know, but there should be some guidelines. Everyone should be protected. And the fact that boys are allowed to go into girls' bathrooms, everyone doesn't feel safe.
So, all right, well, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll go into the next Hammer segment. So we'll take a break right now.
Okay.
The APN's The Pulse podcast is hosted by Alexandra Levine from the Alexandra Levine Life podcast. And Damon Galdo from the Jersey Shore podcast. And Seth Eisenberg from the Conservative Corner podcast. Also, there will be 2 additional guests on every episode. The Pulse is live every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Hammer segment number 2. We're here with Canstance Detzel and Nila Gonzalez, both running for assembly in LD5. So we're going to go back into more policy and legislative questions. So this segment I titled Fixing What Trenton Broke. But remember, go out and like and subscribe. And hey, if you guys want to just, right now, we'll do it at the end too. Tell people where they can find you so that they can look now if they want.
Very good. Well, we have a website, Detzel and Gonzalez for LD5. And that is spelled out FOR. Detzel and Gonzalez for LD5 is our website. Our Facebook is Detzel and Gonzalez State Assembly.
All right.
And if you want to contact me, conniefornj@gmail.com. I will convey that to Nilsa also. Connie for NJ, that's a 4 just like Jack Chitterelli does. Jack for NJ. It's Connie for NJ at Gmail. We're on Twitter.
Yes.
We're on X. Connie for NJ and N Gonzalez for NJ, right?
Yes.
All right. So first question. Affordability. Property taxes and the cost of living are driving families out of the state. What specific legislation would you sponsor or support to lower property taxes or provide tax relief for working families?
There is.
First?
Okay, there is. That's a multifaceted answer. There's no one single thing to do. But if anybody has managed a checkbook before, you know you can't spend more than you have.
Tell my wife, please.
So you can't spend more than what you have. At least we try to run our homes that way. And so the first thing, you have to look at the budget. So you can't look at taxes without also looking at the budget. The budget probably needs to be cut maybe by a third. I don't know. It went up $20 billion in 8 years.
Yeah,
it's just insane how much it's gone up. And if you look at these large budget lines, some of them can definitely be sliced. So you've got to look at those budget lines. Then you've got to look at the tax structure. And I must admit, here I lean on some of the suggestions of Jack Chitterelli. He's a CPA. He's an accountant. He knows numbers better than me. And he's got some nice ideas out there as far as capping property tax values at 2% the assessed value. He's talking about maybe some breaks for first-time home buyers. He's talking about the capping for seniors. That has just gone out of control. And it makes sense because a senior doesn't need some of the services of charging around town and school systems. They don't have kids in school anymore. So it would seem fair to make some capping there. But you can't do this without looking at the budget. We could talk about those budget lines if you want. But did you want to say anything?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything that you said. That's why we make a great team.
I want that to you.
Cap the hell out of these taxes.
Yeah, because you feel it in rents too. It's not, I know people that don't own, but they're feeling it in their rents. Property taxes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the property taxes, especially for seniors too, like you mentioned, they get priced out of their home.
Yeah, we are second highest in the nation. in
I thought
property.
we were first.
Okay,
but
well, it alternates.
Yeah, I guess
Depending on your end of 2024, we were the second in property. We were the first in corporate, 11.5% corporate tax, with third highest in income tax. I mean, these are high in all the top categories.
Yeah.
Exchanging 1, 2, 3 position, I don't care. I don't want to be in third position either.
Yeah, I want to be. I want to be in.
I'm in third position.
I want to be. I want to be in 50th.
Yeah.
So, but Nelson, you're from Camden. So, Camden for a long time they've been trying to build up that waterfront. I mean, they've been trying to build up Camden for 50 years that I know about. What do you think? If we finally got the right leadership in Camden, and you guys are going to represent Camden City, and just it will create so many jobs for the people who live there. Not regentrification. And I know this is the question kind of off base, and not price the people that live there out, but just rejuvenation of it. And if they could build up that waterfront and the people that live there get the jobs that are running the hotels maybe or the condos that they may build or whatever it may be. What do you think about that? Do you think that's something you guys would look into?
Absolutely. And it's funny because downtown Camden does not look like downtown Camden when I was younger. It actually looks good. I'm going to say this. It looks good. They have the 76ers building out there. We were there for breast cancer walk. It looks good. However,
my company built that. So.
However, it's just it is just a look, because if you're downtown Camden, you look over to Philadelphia, there's life happening on a Friday night or on the weekend. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot happening. If you're in Philadelphia looking over at Camden, there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So why do you have these nice buildings down there? And
they're just daytime buildings.
They're just daytime buildings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but then you turn the corner and you go into the actual city, like where the people live, and you see wow, it's a completely different city. So yes, we plan to work together to bring jobs to the city. That's why we support small businesses. We need those type of things out. And yes, we want to. My focus would definitely be how to see Camden thrive.
Yeah, there's so much potential in Camden City. It really is, and no one's ever really tapped it, or it was corrupt, or they tried to, and then but that would be great. I know a lot of people live in Camden City. I know a lot of guys that I work with. My buddy Delgado, that's down there. Like he always talks about, he's a big. I think you guys might have met him.
We did. We're trying to get him some signs.
Some signs. Okay. I think he still has my banner up on his wall. I'm like, you can take it down by now, but it's been a long time. But all right. So next question, and this is a big one, a very, very big one for all the New Jerseyans out there, especially for me. I'm sure it is for you guys and everybody else that's listening out there who lives in New Jersey. What Phil Murphy did with the energy policy. Governor Murphy's green energy mandates are raising costs for residents. Would you work to roll back reform those mandates? And what would you think would be a responsible energy reform? What would it look like?
100%. Yeah, 100%. We have to roll that back. There are some things you want to change slightly, but this is 100% got to change. We were just talking about budget. Number one, this is a big budget item. This is like a $6 or $7 billion budget item, a unilateral decision by Murphy. What I call Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will. He shut down all the natural gas. 6 natural gas, did not activate the nuclear, or could have, banking it all on wind. This is a true story. And as I've explained this story too, I know someone with the Army Corps of Engineers who has a hotsy-totsy building with solar and wind set up. I think it's up in Jersey City. And they're only operating at 50%. They still need 50% natural gas because the guy said, well, ma'am, sometimes the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine. Yeah. I mean, duh. So first of all, total reliance may have been foolhardy. That's never going to be New Jersey. There might be something. We'll make that completely slick. I don't know what it is, but for now we have to use the natural gas at least and look at the nuclear. I am not science, oriented enough, engineering oriented enough to know the downs and ups of nuclear and natural gas, but both of them are viable for us.
Yeah. I agree.
Budget item, boom, right there. Talking about budget, talking about tax, right there. There's your first one.
Yeah, I know. So, Nils, what do you think about Phil Murphy? How happy are you for him to get out of office? I know we want Jack to win, but
We definitely want Jack to win.
No matter what, it's going to be awesome when Phil Murphy is not our governor anymore.
I mean, yeah, like let's talk about going back to the energy policy. I remember getting my July bill, and I turned it over, and there was a $30 credit on there. It was like apologizing. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it too. It's like, really? That's it.
That is what we're worth.
Yeah.
Like, my gosh.
And it's only coming out of your tax dollars that you pay anyway.
And by the way, we had a settlement because some company went belly up, Orsted, with the green energy thing, and there was $128 million that came back.
Really?
Yeah. Where did that go? That's not a huge chunk of money compared to what they were spending, but $128 million is still a lot. Where does that go?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. But yeah, you're like $30. Oh, I'm supposed to jump up and down and thank my governor.
It was like, we understand that the energy costs are high. It was like $150 more, than what I'm used to paying. And then you give me a $30 credit. It was like, oh, here you go for your inconvenience. Here goes $30.
It's like, and what bothers me too, and especially it's mostly Democrat policies what they do, and it's like a bait and switch. So what's that one? The anchor.
The anchor rebate. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's like, okay, you're going to charge me $9,000 a year in property taxes, but then we're going to say, oh, well, guess what? You're going to get an anchor rebate for $1,000. How about you just don't charge me $9,000?
Right.
Yeah, the levels of bureaucracy to figure it out. Number one.
Yeah.
And then the people you call and that you can't get through. And then you don't get the whole thing back. It's a scam.
It is. It really is.
Let's just not charge it the first week. And then they use that money to do something else or to pay some developer. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's a whole bait and switch. That's what it is.
Yeah, bait and switch. That's a good way to put it.
But all right. So we'll go to crime and safety. So New Jersey's bail reform laws have released repeat offenders. Would you vote to revise those laws, and what's your plan to make our town safer while respecting the due process?
I definitely agree on the first part. The bail reform has got to change. We just started a Republican committee in Woodbury. They didn't have one down there, and this Shana Gordon is drumming up a good committee. And I said, "What are your 4 top things in Woodbury?" And I was shocked that she said crime. Crime. This is not the answer I'm getting in other places of Gloucester County. It's not and probably other parts of Camden County it's valid too. But I was surprised that in Woodbury it's the crime.
Yeah, it is. It's big. I'm in West Effort. I'm right next to it, and it's
so
running rampant. Cars are getting stolen like crazy. There's been assaults and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I live in somewhat of a nice development.
The bail thing, cashless bail, that has no place in law. I don't think. And related to that is that they've allowed our police forces, they don't empower them. They aren't allowed to touch, they're not allowed to work with ICE agents. So if there is a legitimate criminal that they know is a problem in the town, they are not allowed to help ICE agents out with that. That's a problem.
That's a problem. I think there definitely should be some kind of reform. We definitely would need to look into that for violent offenders and repeat offenders. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it only makes sense. I mean, if you don't get punished for a crime, then you're not going to learn from it.
Right.
It's like a child that does something wrong. It does something wrong. If you don't say, "Hey, that's wrong," and punish them for it, then they're just going to keep doing it. And it's easy, common sense thinking. So I don't know why these lefty loonies out there decide to bail reform. Like, what's bail reform? No, did you do a crime? You go to jail, or your bail is going to be a certain amount until if you can afford it to get out.
I don't know how much the defund the police, fund the police movement moved down here in Camden County or not. Remember the defund the police, which was a big deal in New York City. Bill de Blasio right away jumped on board with defund the police. I mean, you'd be surprised. I'm always surprised on how bad ideas can move so quickly. Within 2 weeks, Bill de Blasio defunded the police. You know how hard it is to get something going, a new policy, and it takes all this. Oh, but yeah, you can defund the police just like that. And he did in 2 weeks. And I don't know, that's a good question, actually, to see how much what effect that had down here.
And speaking of New York, too, before we'll go to break after this, what do you think about Zoran Mandani? This guy, he's a socialist, Marxist, communist. I mean, the guy's all over the place. I mean, how do you think it's going to affect New Jersey if he gets in? Because they're our neighbors.
Yes, they're neighbors, and New Jersey likes to copy whoever the current progressive state is. They like to be the California of the East Coast, and I'm afraid that they won't want to pick up on. The guy's got this charm, and he has lured people with charm. But what's coming out of his mouth is genuine socialist sliding to communist policy. Is that what we want? Is that what New York wants? I'm thinking, New Yorkers, do you really want that?
Yeah.
Some people would find him charming. I don't know. I mean, he has a nice smile.
Well, the smile.
The moment he goes to speak, he doesn't look or sound charming at all. He's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems fake to me, but I guess he's getting over on some people.
AOC just give him a chance. Just listen to him.
Oh, my God.
Just talk to him.
She's the reason why they put directional shampoo bottles, as Senator Kennedy said. So, but all right, so guys, we're gonna take a break and we'll get back to the third Hammer segment.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
All right, everybody, welcome back to segment 3, Hammer segment 3. I'm sorry, got to keep up with the Hammer because my buddy Seth calls me the Hammer, so that's why we changed to that. But again, we have Nila Gonzalez and we have Constance Detzel here running for Assembly in LD5. We're just going through some questions. They're great candidates, and we got an election coming up. And well, it's early voting right now, by the way, so everybody knows that. I'm sure everyone does, but just a reminder that you can vote up until Sunday. Yes, Sunday, and then off Monday, and then Tuesday is election day. Yeah, so we're a week away, just about. So, so we're going to go into this Hammer segment 3: faith, freedom, and the future. So, I already know the answer to this, but you can tell the listeners what kind of New Jersey do you want to hand down to your children and grandchildren, economically, morally, and culturally?
Affordable one.
First word that comes to me.
A safe one, and one with morals.
Affordable, an affordable and meaningful life.
Yes.
And that meaningful, I think, is full of meaning. I mean, I don't see our, I'm going to use children, not just ours, but, general, taking a lot of pride. There's ego. You see plenty of ego.
Yeah.
But I mean, genuine pride of accomplishment. And it's not realistic for a person to feel that all the time, but they should feel it sometime. There should be occasion when they feel a sense of pride in what they've accomplished. I find that sorely missing. Boasting and ego, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
But I find that, and that goes back down to how we are bringing them up in our schools, how much, the culture affects them, how easy they get discouraged and why they turn to troubling things like drugs.
Mm.
So I think this sense of pride is hard to bring back.
Yeah.
So, and actually, now you brought that up, I want to ask you about the legal. There's illegal drugs and there's legal drugs that they're selling. Can you talk real quick about your experience?
I will, because, well, first of all, one of the reasons you want to vote for Nelson and me is that we are already working with legislation, grassroots, other people, and some assemblymen on bills that pertain to drugs. One of them is called Weston's bill. It's about fentanyl, and that there should be tougher punishments when somebody has killed a minor,
Well,
knowingly or unknowingly, if they're a drug dealer, and if they've had repeat offenses. There are a lot of ifs around that. Serious offense goes with the serious crime, but there's legal drugs out there. And New Jersey is comfortably cashing in, and so are other states, on the cannabis stores. Now, it's one thing to have legalized medical marijuana. We can argue all day on legal marijuana. I'm really not totally against it, but it's the method of distribution. This retail candy store presentation that's attracting. That's where you get your new users. And who are your new users? Users, they're young people. They're not people our age. We know what we like and don't like at this stage.
Yeah.
Either like it or I don't. These kids, they have nothing to do on a Saturday night. Oh, let's go over there. Well, anyway, there's a drug called Kratom, Kratom. It's natural. It's available anywhere. It has no check for minors, can be purchased. And if it has side effects of liver damage, side effects of seizures. And you take enough, and kids experiment. You take enough and it can kill you. But because it's so freely available, they didn't really believe it can kill you. But it killed my nephew.
Yeah, I'm sorry
and
to
I
hear
am
that.
5 days back from a funeral.
Yeah.
And this is absolutely tragic. And this wasn't even in this state. So I'm not even just picking on New Jersey here. I'm picking on, what are we doing? And I heard here in Collingswood, well, at the town hall, we're getting such great revenue. You're going to see your property taxes go down. He actually said that 2 years ago. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to see my property taxes go down because of the revenue we're getting.
I haven't seen it. And what
I don't think so. I
what
think
are
that was
marijuana sales? What are these dispensaries? If you drive down the street, there's a dispensary like a mile apart. From everywhere. It's amazing. I can't believe they're just dropping them everywhere.
And I asked if there was 2 years ago, a parent asked if there would be a limit of how many per capita.
Yeah.
And he said, well, we'll just see how it goes. Well, you can't deny after there's 3, you can't deny the fourth person for an application. You have to have the rule first.
Yeah.
That we have only, you can't, because then that's not fair to the fourth retailer. So it just very much concerns me how easy we've made it and how much pride we take in the money it's making. And please tell me where that money's going. Apparently, according to ChatGPT, 40% is medical and 60% is recreational. But that's just cannabis, and that's showing up not to be such a great thing to be ingesting and taking in over time. But there are these other drugs too. Like I said, they don't know that this is out here, and it's a killer.
Yeah, Kratom. I never heard of it. Did you ever hear of it before?
I never heard of it.
I'd never heard of it until this happened.
Yeah. Because I know they sell these things in gas stations. I remember they sell the CBD gummies. They started selling them in gas stations too. And I heard people get sick off of them. It's like the CBD is the male plant of marijuana or something like that. And but they were strong as hell. They still got you.
Yeah, it truly is a gateway drug.
Yeah.
So Kratom, I mean, you do have to take more than what's recommended. I mean, he definitely made some mistakes here. There's no question. It wasn't deliberate, but still, that's what someone in their 20s does.
Yeah.
Or younger.
There you go.
Because there's no ID check on it.
I'm lucky I'm 44 and still alive from my younger days.
I'm told that in the stores that there is, that the stores in Jersey, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe, because I don't know, that there is an ID check just to get in the store in some places in Jersey.
Oh, in the dispensaries?
Yeah. Is there an ID check to go in? I don't even know.
I think there is. There should be anyway.
There should be.
Yeah.
At least that would control. But
so you go there all the time.
but Kratom sells at the 7-Eleven, somebody told me. I wasn't aware of that, but there's no ID check there.
No, there's
but
no
if you
ID
wanted to
check
buy a bottle of wine there, then there would be.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there should be. I don't know.
Anyway, this is all part of our slogan, legislation for the next generation.
Yes.
All rolled up into that.
Yeah, I stopped smoking when I got arrested when I was 18 years old.
How many years ago was that? That was a long time ago?
That was 26 years ago. So I got probation for it. And, so
Did you learn your lesson?
Yes, it's expunged. And my dad expunged it from my ass when he beat me with the belt when I got in trouble. But no, learned my lesson. But no, I'm glad it happened to me, though. I mean, I really am. Because I got in trouble for it. I was arrested. I was in jail for a little while. And then, because my parents weren't going to bail me out. Mm-hmm. And then I got probation. But it taught me a lesson. So I'm not
Everything
afraid.
does.
I'm not afraid to tell people about it. I tell them all the time.
Promoted, certain Democrats at a time in my life.
I used to be a Democrat.
Hillary Clinton, believe it or not, I promoted her back in 2008.
Oh, really?
It was the best experience because once I learned what she was about and the Democrat Party was about, I'm like, I'm never going back there because the Democrat Party has left us.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for you, leave them. That's another slogan.
That's what I tell people.
It taught me a lot. It was a good lesson.
Yeah.
I'm like, aha. And there's a reason that Trump says, crooked Hillary, crooked Hillary. It's so silly, but it's...
Well, Hillary, if you're listening, I didn't say anything wrong then, so I don't want to be... I don't want to be hung somewhere.
I did support you for a long time. I mean, I supported you for a while, but I just learned it wasn't the right way.
Yeah, you never know with Hillary. But what do you think? What do you think about Trump like zapping those drug boats that are coming?
Oh my God, it was like the most amazing thing. Like they're trying to come in and kill our kids. Come on,
100,000 a year.
Listen, this is the thing. I am very passionate about that because I've seen firsthand what drugs do to our community growing up in the city of Camden in the early 80s when the drug epidemic was huge. Okay. And what that did to my own family, and so, yes, I love to see him zap them.
And I love how he declassifies it right away and he shows the picture of just boom.
And it's awesome that we get to see it.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. I mean, and I just wonder who the guys are. Like, oh man, who's going to make this trip? After I see the first 5 go, it's like, I don't know, boss. I don't want to do it and make them go, and then they zoop.
But some people obviously have like an issue, because it's happening. How do you have an issue that you're taking out people that are trying to bring drugs into our country and kill our families?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
mean, I did a podcast and had her on my radio show too, Ann Funder. No, her son.
You know her well. She's the one who has formulated the Weston's bill.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
We were working with her on that bill.
And then what happened to her son? He took something not knowing it was laced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And he died from it. And I can't imagine losing a child. That'd be like the most horrible thing. Yeah. So I don't mind if Trump's just. I love that he did. Show them piece through shrimp.
Show them.
They're
yes.
just like, boom,
right.
There you go. Don't bring fentanyl into our country, and it kills 100,000 people a year. I'm originally from Philadelphia. I moved to West Deptford about 5 years ago, and I don't know if you're familiar with Kensington Avenue. Philly.
It is horrible.
It's like I was just
zombie land.
I was just by there. I mean, quite a few times. I already know what it looked like, but I just drove by there a couple weeks ago, and it is. Unbelievably horrible. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life.
And when you see that, you think I'm supposed to be sympathetic to the boats being exploded.
Yeah.
This is the result of fentanyl coming into our country and just taking over our communities. You see Kensington. Kensington is a prime example of why we don't want those boats coming into our country.
I don't know. I wish I would have cut this clip. I forgot about it, but it was Trump. He said he was asked by a reporter, and they said, "Well, don't you have to go to Congress if you're going to enact a war?" He says, "It's not war." He said, "To bring drugs into our country, I'm killing you."
Yeah,
it was just like that. It was something like that. He said, "I'm killing you. Don't bring drugs into our country. I'll kill you."
Hey.
But so all right. Well, in a minute we're going to move to the next segment. So I'm just going to ask you this last question. So finish this sentence. I'll go to you, Constance, first. New Jersey will flip red when?
New Jersey will flip red when? When people are really willing to look and listen beyond what the media is telling them. The legacy media has formulated public image for so long now. They have to be willing to look beyond that, and they have to be willing. We have to be willing to talk to each other again. They have to be willing to look at New Jersey. I think the Cheryl campaign has tried to defer everything to federal and Trump, and people are not willing to see that the things that are bothering them on a daily basis, taxes, their energy bills, the school curriculum, are Jersey policies. They need Jersey decisions. Trump had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
They've been in place, and this party's been in place for 20 years. Gloucester County, 25 years, if I'm not mistaken, House rule. So, but there has to be a willingness to talk and listen. And obviously, Republicans have to do the same. You know, we have to listen as well. I mean, but it's just that there's a lack of common sense in these far left. I don't like to use the word progressive, but yes, these left progressive policies that just don't seem to apply to the common man.
Yeah.
So with my kid, right, my son, he's 13. Now, we're not at the dinner table talking politics, right? So one day we're in the car and he turns the radio down. He goes, Mom, so let me ask you a question. What side are we on? Are we on the side of common sense? Or are we on the side where you have to pay, your utility bills with your arm or your leg? It was such a random question. And I was like, oh my God, I thought it was a great question, right? And so how do I feel in that sentence? New Jersey will flip red when we vote with common sense. You vote, you vote Constance Nilsa and Constance Detzel and Gonzalez and Jack Chitterelli.
But really, it's going to be challenging.
It is.
Because we're going to have to, we're all in the workplace. You know, you always have your ideas in the workplace, and you have to listen to the other side and come to some kind of. I'm not going to lie; it'll be challenging. It'll be challenging.
It has
we
been
are
challenging.
Very outnumbered up there.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. But I agree with everything you guys said. But you missed the most important one.
Okay.
It'll flip red when more people start listening to the Jersey Shore podcast.
Oh my goodness!
Listen to the podcast, guys.
I didn't pass the test.
No, you did. It was good answers. Good answers.
I would say to them, to independents and Democrats, freedom isn't free.
It is not.
Wake up. It'll flip red when they realize freedom isn't free. You're taking advantage of it. Please share with us your quote that I like so much from Edmund Burke.
Edmund Burke. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. That's one of my favorite quotes.
Yes.
I have it on my wall.
The first time I met Damon when he was running before, and I heard him speak at one of these GOP things. I remember him saying that. I said, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
freedom
quotes.
Isn't free.
Freedom is not free.
We have to be vigilant, and we'll look. And it's little by little things are being chipped away. People, it's not just parental rights; it's in other areas. And you add up 10 things, and then it's a big thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. And the thing is, too, Republicans out there. Now, I'm just going to say this again to all the listeners. Republicans have to come out to vote. I want independents to come out to vote and vote Republican. I want Democrats that are fed up with Democrats to come out and vote Republican. But in 2021, when Jack Chitterelli ran, he lost by 3 points. It was 31% of registered Republicans that came out. 31%. That's it.
600,000 stayed home.
Yeah.
That's the number I keep working.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then if you look at when Chris Christie, for his second election, he won by a landslide because 42% of Republicans came out.
Oh, I have not heard that stat. Interesting.
Yeah, so 42%. And that's all it took, 42%. We need at least 80%, please. Can we get everyone? I mean, that would be great. If they all came out, because we have two great women here that are working hard, that don't have to do this. They don't have to do this at all. Everyone has a full-time job. Everyone is busy in their lives, but they care. And we need to get them elected. LD5, LD6, Brangan and Sykes as well. And by the way, I just want to throw it out there. They're getting their signs stolen like crazy.
Oh, ours were replaced too with the Moen and Spearman signs. Yeah. I had a few signs up, and I now see they're gone in Haddonites.
They took them out. They took a lot of them out. So then we went out and dropped even more. And the ones we dropped over the weekend, driving to work today on the White Horse bike, gone.
Who has time to do that? You know.
I mean, I'm not accusing anybody, but I would just say people. Obviously, they're not Republicans, I would say. But Lou Greenwald's been in office for 30 years now, so whoever's voting for him, maybe, I guess. I don't know. But, like, who has time to do it? To go and just steal people's signs? And like you guys, too. Your signs are missing. You guys are regular, hardworking people. It's not like you're not even getting the help that you should get by the Republican Party, by the way. The GOP is not giving these candidates help. And I've said it a million times. You need to help out with the candidates. They won the primary. They're endorsed. So there was an issue with the America First event that came out too. I'm sorry, I'm going to bring it up, and but they're not bringing it up. I'm bringing it up. They should be featured on the flyer, and they are finally. But it doesn't say they're running for assembly. So, and that's a problem. But we'll go into that flyer in the next segment. So we're going to go. We're going to take a break, and we'll go to the Patriots and the loser of the week award.
That sounds interesting.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to our last segment. This is a quick one. This is the Patriots and Losers of the Week award. So everybody just remember to like and subscribe. So before we go into, we're going to go into the Patriot award, but before we go into that, you guys want to grab your earbuds. I think we have a special guest that's coming on right here.
I never met mother bears like Canstance and Nilsa. These are two women who care about the future of New Jersey and this country because they know that the future of all children is at stake if it's in the hands of these radical left crazies. They are true patriots and have my full endorsement.
Oh, Lord.
You guys got to look.
Losers! 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 Ah, shut up!
So I had to bring him back. I have a trophy for Steve. And when you brought him up the other day, Steve the Tank Kush, and I made a trophy for him with his face on it. I used to give him he was the loser of the week, like every week. So I call him Steve the Tank Kush because he tanks campaigns. But yeah, so a little side beef personal beef we had. That's why I made the trophy. But when you mentioned his name the other day, I'm like, oh, I forgot about him. He's back. So all right. So he gets it. He can have the trophy. I'll give it to you. So you can come pick it up, Steve, anytime you want. But all right, so then let's go into the first flyer here. everybody out because it's got to change. I'm done with it. I really am. And if it doesn't change, everyone knows who I am and everyone knows what I'll do. So that's just a word for there. All right. So let's go to, I think we're going to do the next flyer and then Seth. Or no, I'm sorry. We'll do Seth. So that's Seth Eisenberg. His name's Jonah, but goes by Seth. He's one of our podcasters on the Conservative Corner. Everyone knows about his foot, his rotted foot, and he's in the hospital for so long. I always make fun of him about it, but it's not funny because he owes a lot of money, and the hospitals are piled up. Mm-hmm. They have been. So that's a GoFundMe for Seth right there. So Seth is going to be out in New Jersey at Skeeter's Pub. He's driving up from Maryland, I guess, with he only need 1 foot to drive. So that's good, Seth. So Seth will be up here on election day. So we'll pull up that flyer.
Righteous pride in this one big voice, it's our time. Generation fighters take the stand. From shore to shore we reclaim the land. Grit and glory in every strand. In Jersey Shore we make our stand.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Generation fighters take the stand. From shore to shore we reach